pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes of the July 10th, 2014 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Been moved, supported that the minutes of the July 10th, 2014 meeting be accepted, placed on file. All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. You've received a copy of your treasurer's report.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented and placed on file.
All support. It's been moved, supported that the treasurer's report approved, accepted, placed on file. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? And that's carried. We received the approved minutes from July 1st. Okay.
Won't do any of the appeals meeting.
Okay. Anyone with anything to bring before the board at this time?
I have some things considered concerning the Garlic Improvement Board. Would you like me to wait at that moment?
If you would wait, please, until we get to that portion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have a quick thing.
Yes, sir.
Wait, to be quick and say it.
Yes.
We've already covered the sewer meetings. That's set, right? We got the date and time for that. Okay. The second thing I wanted to suggest is that we have somebody from the township designated, or people, more than one if you'd like, from the township designated to work with us as we hear from developers along the corridor. We're beginning to hear from them already, and it would be great for us to have a contact point in the township so that we can coordinate things and work in unison together.
I think I know a guy. I think, Guy, that would be the best route to go, correct?
Yeah, I would agree. Good, okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, county commissioner isn't here. Zoning administrator, do you have something for us?
There's another zoning board of appeals meeting next Monday night. Let's see, at the planning commission last week, they pretty much reviewed the recreation plan and map. There's a regional and countywide recreation plan being developed, and they're working our recreation plan for the township in with that whole effort. So, let me see, I got 4 receipts for the month of July, a couple of additions, a new accessory building, and the variance request, or the appeals request. What else? Meyer, everybody can probably see the walls going up pretty fast, so that's happening. And the Bar Lake meeting was held, but we got a report basically on the treatment of the lake on July 17th.
We can cover that when we get there.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Any questions? Thank you, sir. Chuck?
Sure. For the month of July, for the fire department, we had 5 related fire runs, 19 medical runs, and other station activities, meetings, and trainings. We had 11 for a total of 35 activities. Personnel hours were 316 for the folks. I had 74 hours. The other officers had 80 for a total of 470 hours for the month of July. And I'm going to skip down to some administrative stuff since some folks from East Lake are here. I dropped off a automatic aid agreement on your desk up there. It's similar to what a mutual aid agreement was. We call East Lake for, when we have structure fires, we have to physically get on the radio and have central dispatch tone them. This is automatic, so when we have a fire, they automatically tone East Lake. The ISO, which is the insurance rating system, does not recognize mutual aid. They recognize automatic aid, so this is a step towards bringing that insurance rating down. Last night, the East Lake Village Council accepted it, signed it, so we'll bring it back to the township tonight, since our meeting was last night and ours is tonight. And it would only be for structure fires, and that's where that's at.
Insurance rating goes down for both township and village.
It should, because what that will happen is we'll be able to count their equipment and personnel, and they'll be able to count our equipment and personnel. It's not going to happen right away, it takes time, but this is a step in that direction. We call them anyway, they call us anyway, so we might as well get credit for it. The city and Filer do it together, Filer and Stronach do it together, so.
Is that in the form of a resolution or what? I don't see one of them.
There should be 4 up there. I have another copy of it. Probably got buried in all that paperwork yet.
Who drew this up, Chuck?
It was between East Lake and us, Manistee Township. It was very similar to what Filer and the city have and what Stronach and Filer have. We try to keep it simple.
In the fashion in which it's written, is this something that ISO will accept?
Yes.
Or is there any stipulations that ISO has to have in this agreement?
If it says automatic aid, they'll accept it. Previously it said mutual aid agreement. They won't accept mutual aid agreement. They don't recognize that.
But I mean, is there anything
Not that
that
I'm
has to
aware
be
of.
addressed in it according to ISO?
Not that I'm aware of. We'll keep a copy of it.
Okay?
Do you want discussion now or are we
Yeah.
motion it?
No, sure, go ahead. We'll discuss it.
I'm thinking that we would want Richard Wilson to review it and then put on the table that it's okay with Richard, it's okay with us.
That's why I asked
Sign.
who, you know,
Yeah, you get it off of like a FEMA, or emergency management, and then you
Okay.
cut and paste what you need, because they have stuff on there that we don't have, like vehicle tracking devices. And so,
I think it's a great effort on all of you people to put this together. It's beneficial to everyone. But I guess I'd be in agreement that if someone wanted to make a motion that we accept this contingent on the approval of the legal counsel.
that'd be fine.
yeah, I'd make a motion to that effect that we accept the resolution pending the attorney's.
I support.
It's been moved and supported that the, is that a resolution?
Yes, it would be a resolution.
That the resolution brought forth from East Lake and Manistee Township on their cooperative fire effort be approved upon the approval of legal counsel. Is that right?
Right.
John's motion.
Connie,
John's
and
second.
roll call would be
Okay.
Connie,
Yes.
Berquist,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
And again, fellas, thanks for your efforts in bringing this forward. You got anything on 131 or you
Yeah,
wait for that or? Okay,
Yeah,
wait for that.
I
That's
got
fine.
down to that first, because,
There are no significant changes in the winter inspector duty?
I had
Oh, I'm sorry.
more, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. You just asked me if I had
I
more.
was just gonna cut you off, that's all.
No, I jumped down to that because those folks came here. So back up to apparatus, yeah, 131 is back in service. It was out of service for a while, and again, East Lake, we had them on automatic tone out during that time because for their engine to respond. So we didn't rely on the older engine that we had, 133. It did have some quite a bit of work done to it. The generator's been repaired. When they had it out, the rear main seal was leaking, some of the big things. The transfer case mounts were, it was just sitting in there. There was a slip yoke in the transmission to the transfer case that was bad, and a new set of heavier springs were put into it. And then I sent you an email trying to keep you folks on. There's so much that was going on with that truck. And then also we set up an account with RHD to get the tires at a half the cost of what I gave you quotes on before. And those should be in the next week or so. On the station, for used apparatus, we're looking at replacing 133, the older truck. I've been doing some research since February, looking, reading, and pricing different things to get my head wrapped around what's going on with those things. Talking to the firefighters and talking to the officers about stuff. Looking between a 1999 and 2001 because of cost. Currently looking at a 1999, and in a couple of weeks I'm going on vacation down to Tennessee, and I'm going to be within 2 hours of where this used apparatus dealer is by coincidence. So I'm going to just go down there and spend the day and just look at this vehicle and a couple other ones just to put hands on it before we don't have to spend any money. So just to get a feel for it and see what it is. So under the station stuff, we had that bad light switch. That was replaced. They come by and replace that. It was kind of, you turned it off that one time and it just kind of sparkled, so I turned the breaker off. And just the outside lights, they seem to be coming on a little early. So I went and inspected that, and there was a cover on it. So I took the cover and moved it up. So when it's dark, it comes on, not when the shadow hits it, right? We've been having a station committee working around the station. So if you see folks there, they've been working on SCBA log sheets and stuff like that and cleaning around the station. Truck history folders and stuff like that. I'd like to thank Gus Storm for working on the cabinets that we had. He's putting trimming around the bottom of it. Then he built us another coat rack upstairs. And hose tray on 134, Jimmy Edmondson built this hose tray. When our truck was out of service, we were able to make 2 pre-connects on the front of the tanker out there so we could deploy hose for like a car or something like that. Under equipment, we have a couple things to order for the 50/50 grant, finish that off. And a couple things to order for the revenue sharing. We did receive that gas monitor, put that in service. Still recruiting a couple folks, and then working on training. We do have our training program for the year set up, and Wes and Frank worked on that. And we still have no word on the FEMA grant from the smoke detector campaign or the SCBA. No news is good news, but it's taken them a long time this year to decide who gets what. I think they're around 14 out of 20 something. So. We talked about the community aid, automatic aid. The county fairs next week, we'll be helping out with that, probably 2 or 3 nights. We just received a donated copier from the city. It came today, actually. Talked about it a couple weeks ago. They're replacing their copy machine. It's a bigger one. So you might end up coming up to the fire station when making copies. So. And then also we received a donated laptop from United Way. Wes was working on that. So it's an older laptop. Let's see what it'll do for us, and it'll support anything that we can use it for. And then the last thing I have is that the training facility we were talking about, those shipping containers. We did receive $10,000 between the state and the Fire Association of the county. Looking at putting them over there, we still need to get verification that we can put them over there if that's okay. Because we've got about 3 months left now to spend the money and get them set over there and start setting it up. So if you want to talk about that later, that's fine too. But.
Well, 2 things that come to mind is, number 1, you need to talk to the guy about put it over there.
But he said we could last time.
Number 2 is we need to get a complete drawing of it, so we need to talk to our insurance about the liability.
We have a drawing.
Okay, we need to know the activities. I mean, we have to be inclusive as to what's going to take
That's
place.
fine.
And then how much more money beyond the 10,000, Chuck, goes into this once the containers get dropped off there?
Approximately 12,000 more, but that's no money that's coming from our department, or it's from the association and grant money that we receive. And we're talking about going to like the bigger companies around the area and asking for them to donate. We have some people donating their time that are going to build their handrails and stuff like that. So there'd be a lot of in-house work. And
Well,
then
we can talk about that some more.
Okay. And just other than that, thanks everybody for their support.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
One question, RHD with the tires.
Mhm.
Invoice coming here, invoice going to you. Did we give them a tax exempt form, and how much is the dollars I'm going to be looking towards?
It should be $15.85, and it should be coming here.
I did give them, they already have the
Right.
tax number, the tax form was taken care of.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? There are no significant changes in the liquor situation in the township. There is no Oaks Prison report. Revenue Sharing Board, there's nothing new on that level till September. Bar Lake Improvement Board, do we have an update on that?
Basically what we did was discuss the treatment of the lake.
The treatment has taken place?
Treatment took place on the 17th of July. And they treated the Eurasian milfoil. I think it was a total of 10 acres. So, you were at that meeting too, weren't you, Jim?
Right. And the budget was discussed.
Budget was discussed. They're wondering if they've spent all but $1,000 of what the county loaned them. And if conditions are right, they would like to spend more than that. This, what, was it late September? So they wanted to confirm that the township was still willing to loan them the $2,500 that they asked for a year ago.
I don't know. I'll have to do some research, I'll find it in the minutes.
It's in the
Me
minutes.
personally.
Yeah, okay.
Ten acres is what was treated?
I think 8
That-
to 10.
That's
How
what
big
they
is the lake?
said. What's that?
How big is the lake?
241 acres.
So what did 10
Something like
acres
that.
do for? I
It
don't know.
knocks back the invasive species. That's really all that's been authorized to be done. So,
They were only after one particular.
species, this treatment, yeah,
Oh, okay. The species specific.
which was the Eurasian milfoil.
Anything else? Ms. Hartman, did you have something to say?
Yes, one thing I need to try to clear up for myself is we have had a 250 assessment put on us for the next 3 years. Is the board, once that has been established and passed by the board, can they then change that amount within that 3-year period?
I don't have an answer for you. I'll research it and try and find an answer unless someone else has something to slip.
Well, the reason that I ask it is because Mr. Gans, treasurer and riparian representative for the Bar Lake Improvement Board, has put out a letter saying that this may not be enough money for what they want, and they may have to revise the amount. Well, I'm sure they're not revising it down, they're revising it up, but we're all assuming that we are locked in at the 250 for the 3 years. We don't think it's right that they should be able to just up it. His comment on it was, I said to him, well, all the land is going to be owned by somebody at some time, so why would you have to change it? He said, well, when we did this, we weren't sure of our numbers. Well, how can you not be sure of your numbers? You had a petition that passed on a certain amount of people. Or is the petition no good then because they don't know what their numbers are?
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. Did we? Is that something we did?
No,
That's my first question.
That was the board, the improvement board that put the assessment on.
right. It's the Bar Lake Improvement Board
Right.
that set the assessment,
Right.
based on the technical report from the contractor. the
For 3
consultant.
years.
For
So
3
now can they
years.
change it during that 3-year period?
I don't believe they can. Or we
I
can.
don't think it should.
I don't
be.
think we can.
Right. Thank you, Guy.
I didn't know, but we'll ask and see what.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something else also. There was, and Guy has just now confirmed that it is just the invasive species. There was question on that at our last board meeting that they want to attack lily pads and everything, and,
Yeah.
and it was brought up that it's just invasive species by the resolution of the Township Board, which I have the Township resolution in my hand. But one of the things that I'm questioning on all of this resolution is the three factors are to determine the scope of the lake improvement project necessary to eradicate or control invasive aquatic species not natural to or beneficial to the health of Bar Lake. The second one is establish a special assessment district including all parcels of land and local units which will be benefited by the improvement of the lake. The third one is the one that I'm not sure what it means. Other ministerial duties, including the adoption of bylaws, the preparation, assembling, and computation of statistical data for use by the board and the superintending construction and maintenance of the improvement project as the Bar Lake Improvement Board considers necessary. That's a whole lot of, I'm not sure, I mean, it's very evasive as to what does that mean? What authority is that giving them? We were under the assumption, some of us, that this resolution was containing the board to the invasive weeds, but this third one just, I don't know what that means. What does that give them leeway to? I don't know what that means.
It's my understanding, and I'm no lawyer, but from reading court cases on these kind of things, the Bar Lake Improvement Board can only address, and really must address, the three things that were in the petition that formed the board. And that was to address the invasive species around the lake, or in the lake. The other one was lake levels, and the third one was a watershed assessment as well. Those are, to my understanding, are the only thing the board could be authorized to spend money on. And each one of those, I would think, would take a hearing before that money could be spent.
So the resolution for the invasive weeds is just part of something, or what? I'm just trying
It's
to
only the
understand
first
all
part
these
of the,
things.
yeah, I believe that the board has to address the three things, the three issues that were,
Bar Lake Board.
the Bar Lake Board has to address the three things that were on that petition. They don't have to do anything about them, but they have to look into it and make a decision whether it's practical or not practical to try and correct something.
Okay, under this resolution, it says the Bar Lake Improvement Board is hereby established pursuant to the provisions of Part 309.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so therefore you have to stick to only things that are under Part 309. If it comes under, say, Part 307, then you can't do anything about it because it's not part of 309.
I would say that's correct, but again...
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You are to stick with only under Part 309 according to this resolution that I have in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, this board created the Bar Lake Improvement Board because of the petition. They had to. And that board was formed under Part 309 and only Part 309. That's correct.
Okay. So if something falls under Part 307, then you can't basically touch it, so to speak. You can't do anything with it. And that's where the lake level falls, is under Part 307, not 309.
From my understanding, that's 307 talks about lake improvement, and according to, again, what I've read, and I'm not an attorney, lake level, I know I'm trying hard, lake level could be considered a lake improvement. So I think 307 is an umbrella over, 309 is an umbrella over 307 to some extent.
according to the way different people want to interpret it, basically.
Yeah.
I had a boat get stuck yesterday, and there are guys with their truck and 3 young husky guys try to get it out of there, but we had to get board and everything else.
Did we answer your questions? I'm sorry, we don't.
No, it's very evasive. Everything is so evasive with this. It's just ridiculous. But,
These are
Yeah,
matters,
well,
I'm not trying to relinquish any responsibility here, but these are matters for the Bar Lake Improvement Board.
well, we don't.
Because that's the governing body, you know, I mean.
Well, you're the governing body over them, though, too.
No, they are not.
No, so
The
You're
state-
not reading your 309 Act, right?
The township board, the local unit of government, only forms the board. They have no authority over it once it's formed. The state of Michigan does.
And you have no choice to form a board once the petition is,
Certified, yeah.
so it's just that circle that just keeps going.
Yeah, not unfortunately, but yeah, that's true.
I have a question about the,
Just a minute, are you?
Yes, I think I'm done. Another thing is with the 3-year assessment, does that start, that was officially passed by Carl Waitner when he was chairperson of the board in December of 2013, last year. He said, we are going to go ahead with the assessment. So that assessment is for 3 years, so does that mean that assessment expires on December of 2016 then?
Connie, can you go from there?
Well, the first assessment that will be put on your tax bill will appear on the December bill that you received, December of 14. Then there'll be December of 15, and then
Okay, so
December
it'll
of
be
16.
2017 then, when it'll actually expire, the last one. 2014?
15 and 16.
Okay, so
Yeah.
16.
But you'll have till February 14
Be
to
February.
up
Okay.
17.
Okay, I think I'm good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't understand, did you approve the $2,500 to the Bar Lake Improvement Board, or I thought he was asking if you were going to make good on that, and I didn't hear an answer.
I didn't give an answer. I said I would have to, if it's in the minutes, well, I will personally,
Okay.
unless other members of the board are comfortable with it, I'll have to research that and find it in the minutes.
So that'll be brought up at the next meeting then?
I presume so, because I don't believe it's going to go away. I think
Yeah.
they want the money
Yeah.
back up.
Okay.
Is that agreement with?
Yeah.
My memory kind of says that we talked about giving them the money, but I thought there was some stipulations with giving the money, and I don't exactly remember what those
Well,
were.
I think it was a loan.
Yes.
It's a loan, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a gift.
Right.
Yeah, can't give it.
Because I wasn't here, do you have any clue where that might be that I could start looking?
It was last fall, like October maybe minutes.
Is that all, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for the Bar Lake Improvement Board? Are you running behind, sir? Do we need to bring you to the forefront? Or? Yeah. Okay. Chuck, do you need to say any more about 131?
No, it's good to go.
Okay, back in service. The McGinnis Drain update on August 28th. There's going to be the drain advisory meeting here,
What is it, Jake?
August 28th.
You know the time?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
That was given to me this evening by the Drain Commission. Excuse me. Who's on that advisory board? You're on it, right, guy? Anyone else comes to mind?
Who else was it?
The city police,
Well, he's a
No, I mean
board of
for the
determination.
oh, that was, I'm sorry, okay, wrong board. This is the advisory board.
Yep.
How many is on it? You and somebody else.
Okay, well, you know what's going to happen, so.
Yeah.
August 28th.
I think it was Clara.
I do too.
Yeah.
We may have to, she's coming and go. She was in the hospital, but I think she's home now, correct?
She's home now, and she told me to tell Mr. Dotz she's working up to her fighting weight, and she's going to be back.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, slow down.
She's in training.
Primary election update. Becky, you got that report?
We had just under 600 voters and about a 20% turnout, which was very good compared to the state of Michigan. We had some excellent workers, and we used the electronic poll book. Things went very well. Good workers.
And the comment that I have is that I was here when Becky and Judy were putting this whole program together, and they put in some long dedicated hours.
Those 600 voters, are those absentee and,
Yes,
so that's combined?
yes.
Okay.
Our election day, they were here from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Also under old business, the website, I got a hold of the current website domain holder, and he's going to release the domain name so that the new website designer can bring the website up to date and get that rolling. Anything else under unfinished business? Tim, I'm going to put you at the top of the list of the new business. All right?
I guess I'll start out. I'm Steve Bernash. I'm on the steering committee for the Penny Park project. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's going on down there. We received a DNR trust fund grant of $141,000, and we had to come up with a $66,000 match to this project to make the park ADA compliant, just accessible for people of all abilities is what we're trying to do. Since the project has started, and I'd say me and Jim and Bob and Eleanor DeYoung started on this probably 3-4 years ago, and we got a hold of the Economic Alliance, and Tim has been a great help. He got the grant in within about a 4-day deadline, and out of 100 some grants, we were ranked 4th out of the state. That's how important they felt about it. Where we're at this point is we have had monetary donations from the Olson Foundation, Consumers Energy, TES Father City Station. The village has put $10,000 of its money into it. My brother's memorial fund went into it from his funeral. Where we're at this point is we have spent all available funds that we have to the contractors that are working on this job. And we are this close to meeting our $66,000 match. I think we're within a few $1,000s. And a lot of that has been in-kind work that myself and Jim have done, and some other fire department members. Where we're at right now is the project is nearing completion. The building is up, the concrete's laid, the new boat launch is in, and they've been working quite diligently. We would like to pay these contractors that have been down there for the last month working. And what we were able to do was release $37,000 worth of funding we had in cash. 10 of it going to Abermarsh, and the other $25,000 going to Orschel Construction, who's running this operation, just to give these guys a little bit of money to keep them going. Where we're at now is we're just getting ready to put in our first draw to the state of Michigan out of this grant. We have to have the project so far along, we had to meet our match before we could get any of the $141,000 from them. We have checked with banks, and it's a unique situation with Penny Park because the state owns the land, the village leases it, so we cannot get an interest-free loan. We would have to go through the whole process of taking a commercial loan, and it would have, you know, percentage we would have to pay back, plus all the closing costs. We're here tonight to ask the Township of Manistee, being that we are kind of like the little brother to the big brother. Our residents do pay township taxes. If there was any possibility, And unfortunately, you have to make this decision tonight because we can't wait till the next board meeting, because hopefully by then we will have some funding by the state. So what we are asking is if it is all possible for the Manistee Township to borrow the Village of East Lake, roughly, we're looking at 60,000, Tim?
50 or 60,000.
50 or 60,000 until we get our money from the state. I understand you just had a run-in with the state and trying to get funds out of them, but this is a different situation. It's pretty cut and dried, and I know they're going to come through with it, but like I said, these guys are almost completed with it, and they've got very little money for what they've done so far. So
We need to make a total of 4 draws. We can make a total of 4 draws. We paid, like Steve said, the $30,000. We got over the 52,000 in our in-kind, which is more than enough to submit that. Once we make the first draw and get that money back, we don't have enough money to do the second draw. I mean, we don't have enough. Well, we need to pay the invoices first before we can make the next draw. So the money once we do the first draw, and that money comes back, that's going to go right back out to the contractor again. But we have to have. We don't do 4 draws, so we got $141,000. So if we had around $60,000, 50 to 60,000, or we could do the 4 draws, we could get this all done. So that's what we're looking at. Am I right, Tim? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Tim can. And we're just looking for some help. Is all we're looking for, because we do not have that cash.
Just add a couple of notes. This is another Explore the Shore site, funded by a different funding source than the one that did Bar Lake. This is the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund, which is actually a fund established through the Michigan Constitution. And I've got their policy here if someone wants to look at it on how they handle this, but all of the funding is handled on a reimbursement basis. And in most communities, that doesn't present an issue. One of the reasons this project was ranked 4th in the state was that based on the site visit by the state, they saw how important Penny Park was to the community. And that's why it was ranked the way it was. I would add that this is, I think, the 14th Explore the Shore site that's been funded by various funders. And we have never seen so much community involvement or volunteerism at any of these sites as this one in East Lake. And it's been absolutely amazing to see the volunteer time and effort that's been put forth, including community members going out and actually asking for grants and donations from other sources. So it's been, in that way, it's been kind of a case study for Explore the Shores and how a small community can make things work. And so, you know, we want to be here just to support that request, not knowing if you can or would essentially provide a short-term line of credit for each one of these draws to support the reimbursement of funds. But the Natural Resources Trust Fund, it has been around for almost 30 years, and there's not been one case ever where they did not provide the funding for one of their grants.
They weren't going to give us the money when we asked for it for the Bar Lake Outlet project because they said there wasn't enough money. They wanted us to ask for more.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
What short term?
Right off the top of my head, and I know you contacted me earlier, and I would hopefully have had this answer, but I don't know if we can legally do that. You know?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say is, you know, if this is a motion that we want to be contingent on legal saying that we can, because in the past it has been that it has to benefit every person in the township, you know. And when looking at the sewer line and the water line and looking at what we could do to offset some of the costs for the people that live along that line, I was told that if you weren't putting a sewer line for every person in the township, then you can't do that. This being a park, it would be available to every person in the township. So I would think that there's going to be some different rules compared to what we were talking about in that respect. So, I mean, if that's something in the township wants to pursue, we need to have legal counsel tell us that we can and make the decision based on that. I know they need an answer before the next board meeting, but we wouldn't be able to give you an answer tonight until we know what the legal ramifications are. But that doesn't mean that we can't check on that and get back with them and then revisit it before the next board meeting.
If I'm not out of order, I would make a motion to borrow the village of East Lake, is that who? The money, if in fact we can legally do it, once we check with council. Mr. Wilson.
Is that who we check with? I don't know if he would have the answer.
Maybe.
Does your auditing firm have the answer?
Department of Treasury.
Maybe I shouldn't have said Mr. Wilson then.
Well, I'm sure he would be able to do it as well as we could. I would just feel better if he was the one talking to the Treasury, interpreting the law versus me being on the end of the phone interpreting the law. And then, of course, there'd have to be some, how long, how much, whatever.
Right.
Well, you would have to have a legal document.
Right. And so it would take us a little bit to get that drawn up, but it shouldn't have to be until our next board meeting.
We would be glad to help the village and the township draw up the terms and conditions based upon the trust fund requirements, so we're glad to help with that.
Does the trust fund acknowledge it? That this took place, but they go along with it. They don't care
Oh, yeah.
They don't care where the money comes from, as long as they get it.
Right.
So we
Right. They just need to see paid bills, and then they reimburse.
Maybe after putting that motion on the floor, another question comes to mind. If this is a matching grant, whatever the percentages are, you're getting $141,000 and you had to put up, what, 60 of your own?
66,000. That could be cash, in-kind donations.
Okay, but did that 66,000 have to apply into the project?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And the significant amount was in kind labor.
But we have fallen just short of the $66,000.
We only need a percentage of the 66,000 to make the first draw. Am I right, Tim? 50. We needed $52,000 worth of in-kind or donations.
We're over that.
And we're over that to make the first draw. And we already met our obligation as far as our in-kind for the first draw. And there will be more in-kind coming as the playground goes in. Some other work is being done down there by volunteers, painting, siding on the building. So we're going to be well above that $66,000 mark when this is all said and done. The problem we're having is that we only have $30-some thousand in cash that we've paid out. We have to make 4 draws, and if we make that first draw with the 30-some thousand, we don't have any money to pay the contractors, to get receipts to make the next draw. So what we're looking for is money to make that next draw, get the money back, we pay it out, make another draw, and then by the end of the year, hopefully we'd be done, the money's back in your hands. When we get that final draw, the money would come back to you.
Completion is this fall, right?
This fall is completion, so you would have the money back by the end of the year, as the schedule goes.
You made a motion?
I did.
Is there a second?
I support.
Could I have that motion again? I kind of got.
I would make a motion to loan the village of East Lake $60,000 pending legal counsel's determination as to whether we can do it or not.
Just legal counsel? We don't need anyone else? Or he would pursue the auditor?
Yeah, I would like him to make those phone calls and connect with the treasury and the auditor as to what the process would be with the legal documents would look like. And it can't cost the township anything to make this happen, so when it's said and done, whatever legal fees are involved would have to be absorbed somehow. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
It shouldn't be much to have those documents drawn, but like I know if we're spending township money, which, you know, is got to go to everyone, a park does, but that legal fees would be part of the township's cash, general fund dollars that I have to. So I don't know if there's a way to absorb that.
Maybe we can find a lawyer that would provide some pro bono support.
Good luck with that.
It's been moved supported that the Township of Manistee lend $60,000 to the Village of Eastlake for the theme park project. Is that proper?
Yep.
Natural resources. Natural resources trust
Trust
fund.
fund funded.
Any further discussion?
You know, it's just, okay.
So go ahead, you got discussion.
As this goes out now, people, well, when are you gonna get your money back, et cetera, to be paid back within 1 year.
Hopefully it'll be sooner. I'll be much sooner. Yeah.
Okay.
Much sooner.
But I'm sure that,
We can actually help lay out a schedule so you can see what the draws are and what the timing is, but it should be later this fall.
great.
December 31st, would that be adequate?
Yeah, I'd have to check. We'd have to lay it out, but I think so.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Dennis?
Yes.
Connie?
Yes.
Purpose?
No. Motion carries.
No, I don't think it does.
Doesn't it?
You should have a quorum of 3. And you have to, I don't know, too bad Clara's not here.
You have 2 out of 3, you have a majority.
Yeah, but you got a majority of the board of 2 people voting yes. I don't know. Guy, do you have any suggestions? Or Tim?
Change the vote.
Do you have rules of procedure for the board?
They're general law township.
Typically, it's 3.
Yeah, it has to
With a
be-
5-member board.
Yeah.
We don't have a 5-member board, we have a 3-member board.
You have a 5-member
And all
board.
3 have to vote affirmatively typically.
I think that it has to be 3 of them, so I don't think the motion passed.
Okay.
And if it's otherwise, I guess I'll call Richard Wilson. Find out what's going on. I'm concerned with it not being accurate. Because even if the 2 other members are not here, it is still a 5-person board. Okay.
I wasn't aware of that. Wasn't here nor there.
Well, Tim's looking it up anyhow.
I believe you're right, yeah. Because you do have a 5-person board.
Okay. Other new business is the assessor's contract. I spoke with Mr. Anderson about the assessor's contract. His suggestion was to renew it. As you all know, we have different issues with the assessor, mostly about her getting back to people and things like that. The contract, her current contract is up. What would you like to do about it? It was up in June.
My take on it would be, you know, we put out for bids for everything that we do around here. I think that we can get a bid from other interested parties. And then choose from those.
How do you want to advertise?
Looking for assessor.
Oh, boy.
And I mean, because Connie would be able to put hers in if she's interested, as well as anyone else.
How many year contract is it?
Oh, the one we had was a 3-year.
Is that what she's proposing?
She hasn't, I asked her for a proposal, she hasn't given me one. But she's on vacation this week.
I agree with you, Connie, to advertise.
Well, then you're gonna have to come up with a job description, and what you expect that assessor to do.
Okay. Do you want me to get that for you?
I'll give you the old one, and we can go from there. If you want to advertise
Okay.
in the paper, is that what we do? MTA?
MTA, you're going to have a longer wait because it's almost 6 weeks ahead of the issue that you have to have advertisement in. So if we do it now, it probably wouldn't be in until at least the October issue of MTA. And I don't know if you want to wait that long.
I don't know.
I want to say it's a 6-week.
What is our obligation in respect to not having one? You said her contract expired in June?
Yeah, I believe it was June
It was.
26th.
So, right now, we are technically without an assessor, is that correct?
She's been working on
Yeah, right, okay. I don't know if she'd continue to work, I don't know if she'd get upset and throw her hat in.
John, I stand corrected, it was a 4-year contract and it expired June 30th.
Okay.
I don't know that, I mean, because she would be able to put her interest in just like anyone else. I'm just saying, if we have anything done on the building, we do anything, we ask
Right.
for bids to know that we're getting the best bang for the buck. And I don't know, I just think that's kind of the standard practice.
How did you get the last one?
She's been our assessor for quite a while.
It was a renewal the last time.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I wasn't here. It's probably
Corky was before her?
Yep.
His wife.
Pardon me?
Well, it was Corky and then his wife. And
Then Reva and then Connie. I think Connie worked with Corky and Reva.
Okay. Well, I guess the clerk's office is going to advertise, but where do you want it advertised? Manistee paper?
I would guess Manistee, whatever the paper is, and Mason, maybe Wexford, and Benzie or Travers, I don't know.
I won't say it's Benzie, Wexford, and Mason, because they
Yeah.
connect to our border.
Does Benzie have a paper?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Citizen Patriot.
Citizen Patriot. And is that in Frankfurt or Dula?
It's in Benzonia, but it's Manistee and the Benzie paper are all owned by Pioneer. So you can do one-stop shopping for the
Okay.
advertising.
And when do you want these in? You want them sealed, sealed bids, and open them at the next meeting?
Okay.
Yeah.
And the job description can be gotten from here, I suppose, eh?
Yeah,
In the old one.
I don't know what
I don't
level
think there's any
assessment
changes to this.
requires.
It requires a level 2 at this point with minor and possibly more development. It should be a 3, is that correct?
If there was a way of circumventing having a level 3 because a level 3 was so much more expensive, and when there was something of that value, like the casino, there was an individual that was called in who did those on an individual basis rather than having an overqualified person for the entire
So
township.
you're asking for a level 2 assessment.
That would be my guess.
Okay. Do I need a motion for that? To advertise?
You don't have to. Might be easier, but I think I have so much in here right now, I'm not sure how you'd make that in a motion.
Entertain a motion to advertise for assessor for a 3-year contract?
Okay.
3 or 4?
I would go with 3.
Okay.
I'll support that.
Been moved, supported that we advertise for a 3-year contract for a level 2 assessor. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? We had a furnace and air conditioner go bad on us. We had to replace it. That work has been done. If you would have been in here last week, you probably still wouldn't be here. It was warm, very warm.
It's been warm since the 2nd of July.
The Humane Society is asking for permission to hold a tag day, their annual tag day fundraiser on August 22nd, 23rd in the Township of Manistee. It's their largest fundraiser of the year to support homeward bound animal shelter.
I don't know if you need a motion for that, but if you do, I'll make a motion to allow the Humane Society and Township for a day. Usually they go over to Wesco and stand there with her.
I think so. I'll support it. Been moved supported that the County Humane Society be allowed to hold their tag day on August 22nd and 23rd, 2013, 14. Township of Manistee. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And I don't need a border review resolution. I think we covered all of, I've been in contact with Connie Anderson to get that all taken care of.
I have one one other thing that I know we need to talk about,
Okay.
and hazardous waste day is coming up, and I don't know that we've approved a check or a portion or anything to them.
I don't know.
If I don't get on it,
Well, every year we give money so our residents can participate in hazardous waste day, and we have not done that, is what I'm saying.
is that this weekend?
Yes. I wrote it on your new one. It's this weekend, Saturday at the Road Commission, 9 to 2.
All right.
Do you have any idea where that might be or how much it was supposed to be?
No, but I have the lady's name and the guy all written down. I just wanted to make sure as a board, we were on board that we're,
I haven't found that.
You need a motion to expend that?
I think it's,
Do you know how much it is?
no, it's what we paid last year, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I can,
Is it handy?
no.
And what's that for, Connie?
Hazardous waste day.
Household hazard.
Okay.
I just have the lady's name. She gave me a message. Just giving me, she had us down as participating. She hadn't received it. And so I just wanted to make sure it's board we didn't just let it fall through.
Okay. So you're making a motion to pay that,
Yeah.
the same amount as last year?
Well, my motion would be, I would like to participate and pay the invoice that the hazardous waste, because they invoiced us. But I don't have that invoice.
And I haven't found it.
But it's the same amount as last year.
She told me it was, I don't know because I haven't seen it, so I don't want to say it was the same as last year. That's just what I was told.
Who moved that? Did you move that, Connie? You paid. You moved?
Well, I would like to know what it is.
If you want to wait, or I can go back
No,
and
no,
look
if it's the
on
same
it.
as last year, then there's a limit on it. If we just say we're gonna pay it without a limit on it, I trust that she's not gonna write a blank check, but same token, I would like to know what that figure is.
I can turn the computer on and I can find it for you. Take a minute.
County Regional Summit is gonna be the 18th of August, or September. That's when, Tim, is that when everybody from all the surrounding municipalities all get together and
Yep.
hash things out,
It is.
talk things over? When is your next tour meeting?
What was it, 18th? Here we get
Monday after.
zeroing in on the 18th
2 o'clock.
here.
This month at 2 o'clock, at the 18th.
And that should be getting real close to the last
Sorry.
meeting.
It's coming up, I can hear it.
And you haven't had any response on any water proposals or anything?
No, don't know. Verbally, that's all good to go. On paper, we haven't seen any paper whatsoever
It's in the city's.
from the city. So
Balls in their court.
if the city is listening, I hope they forward to us.
Well, she's doing that, the Manistee County MTA is gonna meet on August 27th at Stronach. Next, Manistee Township Planning Commission regular meeting is Thursday. Or was Thursday, August 7th. When's the next meeting? September what?
Yeah.
I thought it was, oh, the planning, okay.
Yeah.
I was on to the appeals,
When's the appeals meeting?
18.
Yeah. It'll be September 4th.
The planning commission meeting?
Yep.
And the appeal is September
It's next Monday.
18.
August 8th.
Yeah. If there is one in.
I thought you suggested that there was one.
Yeah, but it's
There
going to be
is,
next
18th.
Monday, the 18th.
The next regular meeting of the Manistee Township Board will be Thursday, September 11th, 2014. And is the Bar Lake Improvement Board going to meet when?
Not till October.
October 6th.
Who are these for? Oh, for John.
Wasn't it the 6th?
Denny,
6th.
Yeah.
you said you were writing, checking accesses, did you make any decisions? You said you were gonna do something at the meeting here on the bar.
I suggested to you that this board may put together, or may have the attorney put together a letter reminding the adjoining landowners that those public accesses are in place and are not for just their use or for public use. And I've discussed this with the zoning administrator, and he believes that that's something that could happen relatively easily.
That they'll clear the accesses out?
Yeah, we'll make them aware that they're
And
open to the public.
What the verbiage on it.
Yeah.
It's going to stay as they are, or will that area be cleared for people to use as launching or whatever?
No.
We're not, you mean brush them out and stuff?
Yeah,
No, I don't know what
so
that
they'll
was.
stay as they are, and just be aware that people can use them as they are.
Yes.
When I found in soil conservation, that was where I thought it would go, but there isn't anything for the last year. So I don't know. Do you have any guess where it's not soil conservation district? Did you write down the date for Bar Lake? I have
October 6th,
October 6th.
and there is an appeal.
Oh, yeah, but that's on the 30th, or no, the 18th.
18th, yes.
Yes.
And the planning commission is September 4th.
What's the 4th and not the 7th?
Yes, that was August. So
Oh,
you just,
okay,
September 4th.
September 4th, okay. All right. And I didn't hear the conversation on, right of ways.
Mr. Jack asked if we were going to do anything about the Bar Lake or the access points on Lake Shore and Bar Lake. My suggestion was that we would address the attorney about drawing up a letter advising the adjacent landowners that they are public access and not for private use. I talked to a guy about it and thought that would be
And have the road commission put the post back in for,
if they're missing.
if they're missing, yeah.
That's great. That is very good news.
Are all of the public accesses on Bar Lake signed, or are there some that don't have a sign on them?
To the best of my knowledge, they are. I don't know that for exact, but
There's one that doesn't have a western post because it would have been in someone's driveway. And there was no way to get the driveway out otherwise. And it was, not,
Evelyn and her son dug that out years ago. What happened to it, I don't know.
That one.
well, I'll look.
So, all right, let's go back to point of interest or point of whatever. What's,
I didn't find anything under soil conservation district for the last year, and that's where I kind of thought it would be. Tim, do you know who sponsors the,
can you give me a not to exceed number?
and you know, I don't remember what it was when I was here.
I don't know off the top of my head. I just know that.
It's a conservation district.
Is it the soil? Okay. And I know it's going to be at the road commission from 9 to 2.
You want to read back the motion?
Which one?
The one that Connie made.
Move to send our designated donation for the household hazardous waste day.
Was it supported?
No, it was not. At least I don't have it written down.
I'll support Connie's motion.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Not to exceed last year's. What's that?
Pay the same as last year?
I wonder. Everything we gave them is going to be more than a zero check. And I just feel like for us to participate, we should make.
Oh yeah, I agree totally. I agree completely. Okay.
I found something on there for $30, but I know it's
That's
not
not
it.
That's not it.
So,
Okay. All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. Reading of the bills for the month of August.
we each have a sheet, and there are more that are not on there yet.
Who is Area North 31 Recycling?
That's the one that takes care of the dumpsters over by the.
Right.
Chabraki.
It's Chabraki.
Oh, okay, I
It's the
just
new
never
one.
heard of North 31 Recycling before.
That's our garbage.
Okay.
That's our garbage.
It's
Okay.
a
And
branch.
is that once a year, quarterly, semi-annually, how often is that?
Well, I think this one is for the month.
Ooh. Okay. I'll make a motion to allow the bills paid as read and placed on file.
I'll support. So move supported that the bills be paid as presented, based on file. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Any other public comment? Not a motion in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Move supported, adjourned. All in favor? Aye. Carried. Thank you very much.